I give the floor to the representative of Pakistan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, first of all, I would like to extend my felicitations to you in assuming the presidency of the Council for this month. We thank Ms. Wosurnu, Director of Operations and Advocacy for OCHA, and Ms. Bechdol, Deputy Director General of the FAO, for their sobering briefings. Mr. President, Sudan is a brotherly country with which Pakistan enjoys a very close and fraternal relationship. The people of Pakistan are deeply grieved by the current ordeal of our Sudanese brothers and sisters. On today's agenda, I would like to make the following points. First, Pakistan upholds firmly the unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of Sudan. Any scheme that undermines these charter principles will not yield a durable solution to the conflict and will further undermine regional and international peace and security. Second, we call for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire. The parties need to find a sustainable political resolution of the conflict through dialogue. It will not be resolved on the battlefield. War will only bring more death and destruction for the Sudanese people. The bloodshed and brutalities against civilians must end now. The violations of international humanitarian law must stop. The Jeddah Declaration on protection of civilians must be implemented by both sides. We commend, Mr. President, the efforts of Special Representative of the Secretary General, Mr. Ramtan Lamamara, and encourage all parties to engage with him in good faith. We look forward to the next round of proximity talks called by the Special Representative. Third, the worsening food security situation in the country is obviously alarming. More than 24 million people, over half the population, face high levels of acute food insecurity. We have reviewed the 24th December report of the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, IPC. We note that the Sudanese government has questioned the IPC's malnutrition data and assessment and its ability to collect data from conflict zones and from those areas controlled by the rapid security forces. These views of the Sudanese authorities must be taken into account. We also note from the report that the technical working group of the IPC does not agree with the findings of the IPC Famine Review Committee on whether there is a Phase 5 famine condition in 5 regions. We encourage the international community to work with the Sudanese government in addressing the humanitarian crisis in the country. We welcome the visit of Under-Secretary General Fletcher and the agreement on increased humanitarian presence in the country, as well as the fact that the WFP convoy was able to reach Zamzam camp in North Darfur on 22nd November. These positive developments should be sustained. The Sudanese authorities should continue to facilitate the delivery of aid to the needy. Pakistan condemns in the strongest terms the killing of 3 WFP staff members in Sudan on 19 November. We appreciate the recent steps taken by the Sudanese authorities in opening additional air, sea, and land borders for humanitarian aid and extending the Adre border crossing, which has brought some improvement in the humanitarian situation. Mr. President, the international community must help to alleviate the humanitarian crisis in Sudan and bridge the 36% funding gap for humanitarian appeals relating to Sudan. In 2025, Sudan will need $4.2 billion to support nearly 21 million people. Fourth, and most importantly, the humanitarian situation in Sudan should not be used as a pretext for foreign intervention in Sudan. The international community must unite to support a common vision for the return to peace and normalcy in Sudan. Foreign interference in the internal conflict in Sudan must stop. The UN Security Council arms embargo on Sudan must also be respected. Fifth, the Council needs to ensure implementation of its resolutions, including Resolution 2736 of 2024, demanding that the Rapid Support Forces halt the siege of al-Fashir and calling for a ceasefire. Mr. President, a final observation. Internal divisions and external intervention can destroy great nations. We urge the warring parties in Sudan not to allow a further threat to Sudan's sovereignty and territorial integrity. I thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of Pakistan